Up next, the Clippers taking on the Jazz. For Los Angeles, the goal is to get better each and every time they take the floor, continuing to build their chemistry and connection, the unspoken bond that yields victory. Jazz Clippers is next. We're back in just a moment. It's that time of the year. Happy holidays, everyone, from 2K Sports as we get set to bring you some mid-season NBA action. This is Kevin Harlan with Greg Anthony and two Hall of Famers, Doris Burke here at the table, and on the sideline, David Aldridge. D.A., take it away.
Kevin, thanks. Donovan Mitchell grew up around pro athletes. His father worked in Major League Baseball, and Donovan said, "I saw guys making millions, staying humble and grounded. I also saw the other side, so I try to treat people right. I grew up that way, and the NBA doesn't change it." Kevin, he's showing as much as he's talking about it.
What a great guy. D.A., thank you for that. Let's check out the Western Conference standings right now that we're here in the new year. You look at the Clippers, off to a great start this season, currently in second. And, of course, the Jazz, a couple spots below.
You know, for Los Angeles, they had a few critics coming into the season, and now I don't think they have any. This is a club ready to not only make a deep run, but possibly win it all.
Well, this is their goal. There's no doubt about that. For what many expected of them so far, they have not disappointed.
And checking out Utah's opening lineup, Conley runs the point with Mitchell flanking him. Bogdanovich out there with Gobert, and it's O'Neal in at the 3 slot. And for the Clippers, Baca is out there with Batum. Then it's Ivica Zubac. Then there's Kawhi Leonard, and it's George in at the 1 spot. Now Conley. Nicholas Batum missing from long range. This is his first free throw of the game.
76% from the line a season ago.
And he makes the first. A lot of teams with a lot of new players, Greg, this time of year can be a real challenge to mesh.
No doubt, you know, getting everybody on the same page sometimes, it can take time. And then you have to build that trust. Weathering the storms together will obviously help you do that.
This is a small forward who, because he's 230 pounds, can hold his own down in the low post. That is nicely done.
And it's set back by Leonard. Mitchell against George. And George with the stuff.
Now flying high and throwing it down with the one-hander.
One of his favorite moves right there, guys. Now, here's Mitchell. He had a 15-point outing in their last game against the Clippers.
He was also an excellent setup man as well. This guy was cutting the defense to shreds with incredible passing.
Just setting the tone with an aggressive move to the rack. And where's the help defensively?
To me, that's a complete lack of communication on that side of the ball. These guys need to be talking to each other.
And the rejection by Zubac. And they have certainly been looking locked in offensively.
They sure have. Staying aggressive and playing under control.
There's a real knack for understanding when a guy is uncovered. And Paul George's court awareness on display right there. Beautiful.
Now, here's Mitchell. Conley feeling it out. Can they get it? And that's 2 points on the layup.
Mike Conley continues to perform at a high level. Over a decade as a pro, still doing work.
And Paul George, Doris, kind of a late bloomer coming up in high school. His older sister used to give him the business on the blacktop. Of course, eventually, he found his stride, and the rest is history.
It took some encouraging from older sis and his high school coach, who actually had to threaten him with running suicides to get the guy to shoot more. And think about it. This guy plays his college basketball at mid-major Fresno State. That's really where he got onto the NBA radar.
Here's George, and there's the whistle on the shot. Took the foul, shot misses. He'll be shooting 2. And there's the call. Utah the foul. The Clippers shooting their first free throws of the game.
And look back a season ago. They did a solid job at the line. About 79% of their free throws.
Well, you love the energy out there. Paul George is an extremely confident, extremely versatile player and he brings a great level of activity to both ends.
And so he makes both from the line.
An efficient night from the line. This is a guy who puts in the work and it pays dividends.
Conley dishes to Bogdanovich. It's hauled in by the Clippers. This game coming after a loss against the Jazz.
Yeah, that was a rough outing. They did a few good things, but the inconsistencies caught up to them in that one.
To be perfectly frank with you, I'm surprised it was as close as it was. I thought they were outclassed all night.
Defense doesn't get much better than the mobile one block we just saw on replay.
And early in the game, these sorts of plays really can set the tone. They need a bucket in a big way here to regain some confidence.
Conley, the pass to Gobert. Now, here is O'Neal. 6 to shoot. On the wing, Mitchell. The Jazz need to get off a shot here.
And they've had chances to score inside, just unable to convert.
No good on the wing 3. Leonard looking over the floor. Ibaka dishes to Leonard. And here's George for 3. And he's good on the 3-ball. George has got 7 points in the game.
And it just seems that every pass they make is leading to a score. Just great ball movement.
Mitchell passes to Gobert. To the paint. Here's Bogdanovich. They get it back. And slam dunk by Gobert.
I'll tell you, you cannot give Rudy Gobert an inch of space when he's working the glass. This guy excels at using his reach.
Batum for 3. The shot will not fall. Utah comes into this one after the win against Los Angeles.
Yeah, and defensively, boy, did they trust one another. Communicated well and just made it very difficult to get good looks in that one.
You knew they were on a string all night on the defensive end, and it always helps when someone got caught out of position, help was on the way.
No one had more success at the foul line last season than this group of players. 5th on the list, Bogdanovich.
He was locked and loaded from the free throw line all season. Never suffered through any real lulls in that department.
And a first time out of the game called for Utah. Greg, I know you've played for some great coaches in your day. What is it that separates the truly elite coaches, in your opinion, from just coaches that are pretty good?
I think the one attribute that's most important for a great coach is consistency. And I've said this, you can coach a lot of different ways, you can win a lot of different ways, but you've got to be sincere and true to your principles and your philosophy. And those are the coaches, and I've had them that have done it different ways, but they've been the most successful. And listen, you've also at the professional level, you've got to have a presence about you. You got to have some charisma out there as well to get these men to buy in.
The Clippers have gone 2 for 2 in the game at the line. And he knocks down the first one.
Batum brings length and a versatile game to his spot on the wing, and his defense always a big asset for this team. He's the kind of player that everybody needs to have out there, kind of a glue guy.
That one falls, so he hits both of them.
Boy, really soft touch on display. It is a luxury to have a big man who can hit from the line at a consistent rate.
Mitchell kicks to Niang. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. The Jazz shooting their 3rd and 4th free throw shots of the night.
Yeah, a year ago, though, Kevin, 78% conversion rate from the free throw line. So that's a nice all-around effort.
Clippers leading by 4. George with the ball. Favors picks him up. Here's Leonard. Another shot. And the layup good by Ibaka. Ibaka's got his 2nd basket of the game.
Well, you have to like their work on the boards, Kevin, particularly here to start the game.
Mitchell passes to Clarkson. Here's Niang, defended by Ibaka. Niang kicks to Clarkson. Another miss by Utah. Los Angeles is gone 1 of 3 from beyond the arc so far in the game. Oh, what about that dunk?
That was special. My goodness. That is activity.
Jazz trail by 8. Pass to Mitchell. That time from Leonard.
The shooting numbers just aren't there yet in the quarter.
And Kawhi Leonard with the slam.
Incredible wingspan, unbelievable hands. The alley-oop is easy.
Here's Clarkson. 1:04 left in the first. Now the pass to Niang. Mitchell dishes to Clarkson. Takes a 3. And it's Mitchell missing.
I'll tell you, it's been a struggle for him in this period, and they're struggling as a result.
The shot by George, no good.
Boy, surprised he missed that. The defense just good enough to prevent that bucket.
A power flush with a long hang on the rim at the end of that.
That could be a catalyst for him. It really could. Here's George. Here's Zubac. Favors with the rebound. So Favors will bring it up for Utah. Trailing here by 8. Here's Leonard. Lays it up and banks it in. Leonard's got 12.
And they've had assists now in their last 3 baskets.
Mitchell passes to Niang. For the 3. Doesn't go for him. Domination in the first quarter. It's been pretty lopsided. Clippers lead by 10. We'll be back shortly live from Staples Center in downtown Los Angeles. Earlier tonight, we spoke with Paul George about how they've integrated all the talent on this team.
Everybody has a chip on their shoulder.
Greg, that last point is key. This team plays lockdown defense.
And that's a big part of their identity. Most teams talk about being well-balanced. This team lives it.
And welcome back to the second quarter of action. Plenty of basketball left to play, but this one has been one-sided so far. And taking a look at Los Angeles' performance here, what have they been doing or not doing?
Guys, I love their defense in that first period. They were in position and just challenging shots.
Well, I think they combined great intelligence with great effort, and you can see the results.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade as the second quarter gets going. So on the floor for Utah, they've got Mitchell. He's out there with Jordan Clarkson. Favors is out there with Joe Ingles. And it's Niang in at the 4 spot. And Kawhi Leonard with a very analytical approach, Doris, to the game. Studies angles, movement, trying to groove in on perfect mechanics. I mean, he does it all.
Yeah, Kev, that goes back to his favorite high school subject, which was math. And think about how precisely he has built his game. He started at the free throw line, then went to the low post, and now has added the range game. Very analytic approach.
Jazz trail by 11. And it's blocked, and he's able to get it back. No good, now shooting just 20% this game at 2 for 10.
I'll tell you, no matter what he does, he can't find his rhythm, and you get the sense he's starting to press a little bit.
And they are attacking the rim and getting great results.
When the story of Kawhi Leonard is told, it will be about the hard work being the secret of his success. Here was a guy who was not the most vaunted prospect in either high school or college, but boy, he kept his eyes on what he was after, and he kept working.
The Jazz making a switch here. Gobert, he's checked in for Favors. Bogdanovich comes in for George Niang. Royce O'Neal's checked in for Jordan Clarkson. And it's Conley in for Mitchell. Now here's Conley. He had a 33-point outing in their last game against the Clippers. And Doris, you were talking about Leonard's work ethic. Going back to San Diego State, he used to come in at 6:30 in the morning. No lights on in the gym. So he brought his own lamps. I mean, the guy was dedicated.
No doubt, Kevin, and that has been the through line of his career. First to practice, last to leave. He has that hunger to improve, the drive and the desire to put in the time to be great. There's a price to be paid, and he's willing to pay it.
Another miss by Conley. Clippers leading by 14. A 3 from Leonard. The shot's good on the assist by George. George has got 3 assists in the game.
How many times have we seen a possession like that from them today, ending with a basket coming off a pretty pass?
Now here's Gobert. He picked up 12 points in their last one against the Clippers. Bogdanovich wide open, and he can't answer back. The three-pointer offline. And he gets it to go.
Well, they're winning largely because of this guy's play. He has been sensational.
3 minutes of action so far in the second quarter. It's Bogdanovich on the wing, defended by Ibaka. Looking to end the run. A nice shot by Bogdanovich.
I don't think there's much more you can do. Bogdanovich is too skilled and too strong on these finishes with contact.
Of the two offenses here tonight, you can tell theirs is just a bit more in sync.
And I think because of that, they've gotten the better looks to start this basketball game.
They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need a basket.
Conley kicks to Bogdanovich. And it's Bogdanovich again missing.
They have been board dominant in this game. That's definitely been a factor in crafting this huge lead.
Here's Ingles. It's good. He makes his first shot of the game.
Joe Ingles has a great feel for understanding when to shoot the jump shot or when to attack off the bounce. That is not bashful right there.
Now, here is George. He's coming off a 25-point game against Utah.
And his big night wasn't limited to his offense. His steals numbers were way up there, and it was a special night for him in just about every way.
Here's Conley. Passes to O'Neal. The three. It's hauled in by George. And here's George. He'll bring it up for Los Angeles. 19-point lead, which is the largest margin in the game. Yep, that one goes in there.
Boy, not only can Paul George get off the dribble drive, but you see the strength to absorb the contact and finish. Nice.
Now, here's Bogdanovich. No good there. Empty that time from Leonard. And pushing it up, here's the Clippers. Here's George, and George with the stuff.
Well, you love the tenacity. Paul George cannot be contained when he gets near the 10.
And the Jazz call time here. Greg, if you're a small market team, how do you convince stars that you've drafted and developed to stay and re-sign?
It's a great question, Kevin. I actually think in a lot of ways it's easier today because you can be box office. You can be a superstar in a small market and have the name recognition because of the era we play in. And so I think the biggest way to keep them there is to build a championship caliber team around them. I think that is your saving grace. If you can prove to them that you can build a championship caliber team, I don't really think that there is a reason to want to leave.
That's a solid blueprint. Here's O'Neal. Kawhi Leonard making his last shot. And the dunk by O'Neal.
Ooh, that kind of defense, it's almost as if they're just standing there.
Well, for the most part, they were just standing still. And you've got an easy 2 points.
Yeah, and despite his restrictions offensively, you still have to close off the lane or he'll burn you.
Well, I'll tell you what, he earned his money on that foul.
The Clippers have been on target from the free throw line. They're 5 of 5 in that department. They throw good, Paul George. A different look for Utah. Favors comes in for O'Neal, and it's Mitchell in for Mike Conley. And good on the second, so he makes them both.
And they have yet to miss a shot from the line here this quarter.
Clarkson against Leonard. Now, here's Clarkson. Tight defense on him, and the basket is good. Got it to go through on the contact, so a free throw coming up. A great opportunity for a three-point play. George Niang, he's checked in for Utah. Utah's shooting their 5th free throw of the game here.
And Doris, as Gobert has added strength, his rebounding numbers have continued to improve.
That's right, Greg. He's always been a force as a shot blocker. But over the past 2 seasons, this guy as a rebounder has been top 3 in the league. Last year, he even challenged Andre Drummond for king of the boards. He's got great size, great anticipation, and he plays with passion.
Here's Mitchell, following the score by Serge Ibaka.
There is a level of physicality, and the frame of Donovan Mitchell allows him to finish through contact.
Leonard finds Ibaka. George with the ball. Out to the right wing. 6 on the shot clock. Offensive rebound. Outside for Batum. Tries again. Stolen by Mitchell. It's tipped. And that one's good by Favors. Favors got his first points in this one.
Well, wonderful execution from Derek Favors. This guy's a bull, and it's really hard to deal with the strength that he brings.
Batum, good.
Shots are just flowing for him right now, having a really strong quarter.
Just 1 second between the shot clock and game clock. Gobert the pass to Mitchell. Lets the 3 fly. Batum grabs the miss. Batum's got rebound number 5 here tonight.
I'll tell you, they're going to need more from this guy if they're going to cut into this deficit.
Oh, fantastic dunk. And he hangs around up there just for a little camera time.
Yeah, maybe he didn't want to land awkwardly. Who knows? But there he is, and we see it very clearly.
Well, not only is he a tremendous athlete, but Paul George is a terrific positional defender.
Thank you, David, for that interview, and we'll see you back here after the break for third quarter basketball.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello, basketball fans. What a pleasure it is to bring you into the 2K studios again. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith. The story early on was Kawhi Leonard, who was on fire. He ended up with 24 points, 4 assists, and 2 rebounds. And taking a look at the Clippers, Kenny, what did you see out there?
Right now, Kawhi has his heart at on, going to work. The ability to make good decisions and pick his spots, that's allowing him to dominate. I'd expect more of this in the second half.
Shaq, what's your take on Utah so far?
Well, you live by the 3 and you die by the 3. And today, they're dying. And as cold as they've been behind the arc, they keep firing. What are you doing? I know they got a lot of ground to make up, but they can't.
That's all for now. Say goodbye to the folks.
And after a very lopsided first half, we'll see if things play out a little more evenly here in the second. Kawhi Leonard really has his fingerprints all over this one.
Ooh, that first half looked like a dunk contest mixtape. Was just destroying the rim.
This guy, he plays fast, he's aggressive, and if you let him get to the cup, there is nothing that you can do about it.
Kawhi Leonard is out there with Paul George. Then it's Ibaka. Then it's Ivica Zubac. And it's Batum in at the small forward. That's who's out there for the Clippers. Left side, Ibaka. Fires for 3. A shot by Batum, no good. Jazz trail by 21. Feeds it to Bogdanovich, and it's in there.
And that assist got him a little nod from his teammate after that one.
And here's George. He'll bring it up for Los Angeles. That'll be just 1 game played away from home for them. Count it.
How about Paul George? Puts it on the deck, uses that explosive quickness. This guy is really hard to contain.
Pass to Gobert. Back to Conley. A second chance effort, and he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. Serge Ibaka picks one up there. Utah shooting their 6th and 7th free throw attempts tonight. Greg, so many people know your story, born and raised in Las Vegas. It must have been an amazing feeling then to lead UNLV to its only championship.
I mean, Kevin, you know, playing in front of so many people, you know, has its pros and cons.
Right.
But to be a part of that 1990 championship team and the only one we've been able to hoist and to have my jersey hanging in that rafter, it's humbling, and yes, it brings back a lot of fond memories.
Like historically good, right? When you think of that team, what that meant, it has a historic place.
It does. We felt like we were able to etch our mark in terms of the laurels of the game of college basketball.
For Utah, they've gone 2 of 4 here to start the second half. Here's O'Neal. The Jazz again can't hit it. Clippers leading by 23. Oh, Leonard in position. Mitchell wide open. Gets it to go from beyond the arc. Mitchell's got 10 points.
Well, the defense so concerned about the dribble drive ability of Donovan Mitchell, but boy, you better contest as well.
Here's Conley, and he makes good on the way up.
And boy, he gets a great jump on the rest of the field there and just leaves them behind.
Oh, you love the awareness, the decisiveness. Great job there.
Los Angeles has gone 3 of 7 tonight from three-point territory. Leonard inside. He's covered by Bogdanovich. And that one, good. Leonard's got 26.
Well, Kawhi Leonard starting to percolate, guys. You may want to start checking this guy.
And the Jazz call time here.
And the lack of rim protection, top of the list.
And the question they're going to have to answer to me is it a problem with the scheme or is it a problem with the matchups?
Joe Ingles is checked in for O'Neal.
And let's take a quick look now at some stats for Batum. Last season's performance for him. He averaged about 3 points a game, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists. I mean, the numbers aren't bad on their own, but he knows that he can help this team in a bigger way.
And sometimes it comes down to the flow of the offense. One night it's your night, another night perhaps it's somebody else's.
Mitchell kicks to Gobert. Leonard against Mitchell. Shoots. The offensive rebound. And there's Gobert putting it right back in.
It's never easy to keep Gobert off the glass. Soars over the defense for the putback jam.
The feed to Leonard. Zubac trying to break loose. Leonard no luck. Jazz trail by 20.
And we talk a lot about Mitchell's offense, and for a good reason, but the defense is also an area where he's excelled.
Oh, no doubt, Greg. We identify him with the offensive end of the floor because he's carried a burden for the Utah Jazz early in his career. But think about it. He's strong, athletic, long wingspan, excellent instincts. This guy has the potential to be one of the most impactful two-way players in today's NBA.
Derek Favors checked in for the Jazz. Clarkson comes in for Mitchell. Ingles passes to Bogdanovich. And denied. He sends it right off the glass. 5 on the clock. And Joe Ingles hits from deep. Ingles has got 5 points so far.
Well, I'll tell you, if you play off Joe Ingles, he is going to make the catch-and-shoot jump shot. You better be there on the catch.
George dishes to Batum. Good ball movement here by the Clippers. Leonard draws the double. Left side Ibaka. 17-foot shot on the way. It's in, and he's a very efficient 5 for 6 on the game.
You simply cannot let Serge Ibaka get into a rhythm from that range. His mid-range is as good as it gets.
It really does make the game easy for your teammates when you can lead them to the rim that well with the pass.
Leonard kicks to Zubac. Outside, George. Pass to Ibaka. And 2 free throws coming up. Unable to get that one to go with all the contact. It's going to go on Bojan Bogdanovich.
Boy, it's clear, guys, that Ibaka has worked on that pump fake. Takes pride in fooling the defense.
And what a unique career Serge Ibaka has had. Some incredible totals for him over the course of his career.
That's right, Greg. I mean, I think people would be shocked to know Serge Ibaka was the first player ever to make 500 threes and have 1,500 blocks. Hard to imagine nobody had ever accomplished that feat. Give credit to Ibaka. He changed his offense and added the 3-ball.
When a pick like that is questionable and creates that much of an advantage for the offense, you have to blow the whistle.
I don't think there's any question. There are so many rules that favor the offense these days. You've got to be able to equal things out when an illegal screen is set.
Jazz trail by 19. Conley with a wide open look. The shot's good on the assist by Ingles. Conley's got 8.
And they have been relentless from deep. And you see the defense trying to react, but to no avail.
Well, that's the whole point, isn't it? If you space the floor well enough, it's almost impossible for the defense to account for everyone.
Utah's gotten all 4 of the three-point shots to go down since halftime. They're lighting it up here. And here's Bogdanovich for 3. The shot misses. So Los Angeles will take it the other way. Earlier in the game, they held a 25-point lead. Ibaka for 3. And again, it's the Clippers from deep.
Well, you think about the work Serge Ibaka has put in to enhance his three-point shooting. He has now become a modern NBA stretch 4.
Knocked loose. And it's out of bounds, and they say it was last touched by Leonard. The Jazz making a switch here. O'Neal's checked in. Here's O'Neal. 10 points for him. The pass to Clarkson. Clock at 6. It's hauled in by Los Angeles. Batum's got 6 rebounds in the game. Here's George, and he floats in for the easy 2. Credit the assist on that one.
And after really leaning on that three-point shot in the first half, seeming like they're just getting away from it here in the second. More of the shots coming from the interior.
Passes it to Clarkson. Will it go? It's hauled in by the Clippers. George has got 4 rebounds now tonight.
They've shown some strength in the paint today. Their work on the boards has been impressive.
Well, Kawhi Leonard is a career 85% free throw shooter. You do not want to put him at the line.
The Clippers have been exceptional shooting free throws tonight, going 9 for 9. The first one falls.
Well, you think back to draft day in 2011. It was quiet then. It became loud as his career went on. But the Spurs get the draft rights to Kawhi Leonard on that day for George Hill. Incredible.
Both free throws good from Kawhi Leonard.
Impeccable from the line since halftime.
Now 8 seconds separating the 2 clocks. Conley, the pass to Favors. They double him with George, and the ball's tied up, so we'll have a jump ball. And so here are the Clippers. And here's Los Angeles. They're on a 13-5 run. Pass to Ibaka. Wants to get it to Zubac. And does. Good on the shot.
Boy, you have to be impressed with the offensive production. They have got it firing on all cylinders.
And at this point, it is their game to lose. They've done such a good job building the lead.
There's 10 seconds left in the third quarter. With 4 seconds on the clock, and the shot no good, a bit short.
Boy, you can just see the frustration growing on their faces. Nothing going their way.
It's just been one of those games, and they need to find a way to turn it around before it gets completely away from them.
And so it's Los Angeles in complete command. And now we have a moment to reveal our State Farm assist of the game.
And the definition of teamwork right there, guys. I mean, what great communication between them, and what a beautiful feed.
Nothing better than chemistry, right? Working together to create a bucket.
And 1 quarter to go in a game that to this point has not been an evenly fought contest. Taking a look at the Jazz, they've got Harrison, and it's Niang in at the 4 spot. The shot by Harrison, no good.
Boy, he's at the cup, but that is tremendous defense. Prohibit the lay-in without fouling.
Down low. Zubac kicks to Batum. Ibaka for 3. And out of bounds as Utah gains possession. Utah shooting at 36%. They really seem out of sync offensively. Ibaka comes with the double team. Here's Harrison. No good on the triple. And it's Leonard with the ball. He'll bring it up for the Los Angeles Clippers. And it's Leonard with the jam.
Boy, what is more fear-invoking than Kawhi off the bounce near the cup? Look out.
Poked away. And then Leonard with the dunk.
Well, if you don't take care of the ball, fellas, that's what can happen.
Absolutely, Greg. That makes the turnover even more painful.
At the end of the day, though, it's 2 points. Don't hang your heads. Let's get refocused and play with more patience.
Here's Morgan. Basket is good. He'll get a chance for one more at the line.
Yeah, exceptional play there to take the bump and still get it to fall.
Greg, after we saw top prospects like LaMelo Ball and R.J. Hampton playing a year in Australia, the NBA G League sweetened the deal to attract those blue chippers to this G League, which I think is a very interesting topic and a very interesting way to go.
It is. You know, I think the salaries now could exceed $500,000, not to mention the endorsement deals, and they're on a single team that's built around their needs. Certainly an enticing option for those who want to skip the college route.
Does this affect colleges, in your opinion, in their recruiting?
Not at all. You're going to love your school no matter who plays for them, especially if you're winning.
Just over a minute and a half played here in the fourth. They get it again.
And the second chance becomes a dunk. We could feel over here.
Yeah, GA's such a good, aggressive play in the paint. Pass to Zubac. Shoots from the block. Again, Los Angeles.
And ever since halftime, they played precision basketball offensively.
I got to believe that's something the coach talked to them about at the halftime. They have valued each possession.
Here's Harrison. He's covered by Leonard. The shot by Harrison, no good. LA has gotten fewer than half of their three-pointers to go down tonight. They are 4 for 9. And Kawhi Leonard with the slam.
Well, almost effortless there from Kawhi Leonard. The reach and leaping ability. Look out.
Just over 2.5 minutes played now here in the final quarter of regulation. Cloak loose. Hughes. Good work there as it goes. Hughes got 4 points now in the quarter.
Nice touch there near the hoop.
The pass to Batum from past the arc. Clippers working now with the new shot clock. Outside Leonard. Shot clock at 6. Zubac the pass to George. The Clippers need to get off a shot. Fader on the way. Ibaka, no luck.
Well, that's a blown defensive coverage, but it doesn't matter. He cannot answer the bell.
The shot by Hughes, no good. Los Angeles has gotten off to an 0 for 2 start from downtown here in the fourth quarter. And Leonard gets it to go.
How about the focus and locked-in nature of Kawhi Leonard? My goodness.
Niang passes to Hughes. Fourth quarter of play, and over 3.5 minutes have gone by. Takes the three. Morgan can't hit it. Clippers have gone 6 of 9 on their field goal attempts since the start of the fourth quarter. The shot by George, wide open. And a little luck that time, but it drops. George has got 25 points in the game. Harrison passes to Morgan. From deep. The shot by Harrison, no good.
Boy, what a nightmare quarter for this guy. He's playing right into the hands of the defense at this point.
Greg, we are in an era of positionless basketball. And we know the All-Star game now has a 2 backcourt, 3 frontcourt position as opposed to 2 guards, 2 forwards, and a center when you're voting. Should they get rid of those designations entirely?
I tell you what, I think you could make a strong case for that. When you go back to last season, many felt Jimmy Butler got robbed of a starting spot. I think listen, this is the fans' vote. Why not the 5 top vote getters? I don't care if they're 4 guards. If the 5 players that the fans want to see the most play a certain position, then so be it. You know, they're not going to play all 48 minutes. You're still going to have your 7 other spots to kind of balance out the roster. I say just let the fans tell you the 5 they want to see, and let's go play.
The Jazz shooting in this fourth quarter pretty dire at 27%. Stolen by George. Here's Leonard. Oh, and the jam by Leonard.
Well, don't let Kawhi his quiet demeanor fool you. This guy has athleticism and explosiveness. How about that in style?
Here's Harrison. He's covered by Leonard. Shot to stop the run. The shot by Harrison, no good.
Well, this guy cannot get started, and the offense overall has been a struggle because of it.
And he makes the bucket, gets the whistle, and now a three-point play chance here for him.
Yeah, that's the third bucket in a row from the paint. This defense needs to clog those lanes in the middle.
Derek Favors checked in for Utah. And the league taking steps to discourage teams, Greg, from tossing away seasons in search of high draft picks. Has enough been done, you think, in that regard?
We'll see. I tell you, the idea of a play-in
That's a tough one, isn't it?
For the last few playoff spots, I think that's a good idea, actually. It might keep more teams in the hunt down the stretch. And I think the onus also, if the fans put enough pressure on their teams to try to develop what they have and not always put it on the future, I think that's going to help. I think you're going to always have a little bit of that moving forward.
Passes it to Hughes. Favors with the ball. Here's Oni. Favors trying to break free.
And the way they have controlled the glass this game, really impressive.
And bottom line, more boards means more possession. That's how you build a lead.
Getting it done on both ends, and it shows up in the score.
Well, what I love is the energy they're bringing right now. They're ignoring the scoreboard and playing hard.
Shaquille Harrison, he's checked in for Georges Niang. That's going to be out of bounds. Los Angeles will retain possession. And the Jazz making a change here. Niang's checked in. Pass to Zubats. Outside for Batum. And last season, we saw the NBA All-Star Game introduce the Elam ending, a target score, Greg, to end the game, and instead of running out the clock. Did you like that, and would you widen its use?
No question, it's being looked at maybe for overtimes or tournament games. You know, Adam not shy about exploring new ideas. And I got to be honest, going into the All-Star game, I wasn't a fan of the proposed changes.
Me too.
But once you saw it all play out, I have to say I was entertained, and I applaud the commissioner and the players in the league for buying in, and I think the fan experience was made all the more better.
Good point.
Well, guys, this was never really a contest, just a total obliteration, if you will. You can safely say mission accomplished now for the Clippers.
You don't see this kind of a blowout often, but tonight this is a quality win across the board to deliver out this kind of punishment.
They definitely never changed the approach. They just kept after it and showed they were clearly the better team in just about every single category.
And it'll mark their fourth win on the year, actually their fifth win on the year. The one player that really stands out, of course, in this one, it was a dazzling game for Kawhi Leonard.
What you love about his performance is that he is simply taking what the defense allows and then making the most of his opportunities.
And it's blocked by Ibaka.
Boy, great extension from Ibaka. His length always a factor.
Hughes with the steal. All by himself. The shot by Oni, no good. And so it's Leonard with it. He'll bring it up for the Los Angeles Clippers. We've got a 9-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. And again, it's the Clippers from deep.
And once they smelled blood in the water, you could see the killer instinct take over.
And you want to save your best for last. Tonight, they've done that and then some.
Here's Niang. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. The first free throw is good. And that's good as he hits both of his shots. 12 seconds left to play here in the fourth. Here's George. And it's Oni with the rebound. So the Clippers winning this one easily. They poured it on tonight. Dominant showing in front of a crowd that loved every minute of it.
And, you know, this game could really be a defining one for what they can do when they are playing at their best. I mean, being here at home no doubt helps, and the execution was flawless.
And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside.